morning. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Don't know if you're there or not. Because I'm still booting everything up. Trying to get myself back in the traces here. Uh, it's just not been particularly too good. It's just stuff. Uh, Among other things, my legs have been giving me all sorts of trouble lately. So, expect to hear that excuse a lot. Because, man, there are points where just sitting in front, just sitting up, pain. Been lying down for the past 24 hours trying to let my I swear, does Amazon.com have a contract that says they have to use as much cardboard as possible to ship everything? Okay, I ordered some Avery shipping labels, some labels for the DVDs to ship out. It's the size of a folder, you know, 8.5 by 11, not even an inch thick. And here's this huge ass UPS box, Amazon.com box that I could pack like 100 of these things in, and it's full of nothing but air. And these little packets, these little air bubble things that they got now. They don't even use bubble wrap anymore. They use these big sandwich baggy sized balloons. The post office has got to hate these guys. I swear they do. Like, rediscover the technology of envelopes, Amazon. Okay, let's see here. Pulling up the live streaming channel, pulling up the art programs. I ain't done squat. I just trying to get the sore in my legs to heal and the swelling of my legs to go down. The simple utility of lying flat for 7 to 8 hours seems to start the healing process. Waiting for a taco salad. There's no utility anymore. I'm wondering if maybe I should start taking St. Don's wort or some other over-the-counter there's got to be like some herbal antidepressants out there. Because I just Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Pulling stuff up, rolling stuff around, just twittering. I have no idea how to paste and paste the address for the... Getting good feed, getting good stream health. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's Twitter that booger. Save me in trouble. Is anybody there? I don't know if you're there or not. Can't tell. Because the channel counter doesn't work right. people in channel. It's good to see. Good to see. Good to hear. Got some, the what you're hearing in the background is "Fake Rain" by Rainy on the Nature Sounds for .me. Nature Sounds for .me. I'm using a Rainy Shack. Just you can mix nature sounds and stuff. This is what I call the Rainy Tin Shack mix, and but we're actually having some rain and thunderstorms here right now, for real. So it's kind of redundant, but yeah, it's oh yay. Tell you, nothing quite clears out the air like a thunderstorm. Waking up after a nap with a thunderstorm, just rolling out. Look at that fresh air. That's really good. It's all vim and bursting with vigor and energy and enthusiasm for all of 5 minutes. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Natural antidepressants. I'm gonna take a vitamin anyway. That never hurts. I'm supposed to take one of these a day, and I keep forgetting. One of these complete multivitamins for adults under 50. I tell you, being in pain will drag you down. It doesn't even have to be serious pain. It just has to be chronic. My legs. I've got to go and see a doctor. I've got to go to the clinic. Got these sores on my legs. They sting and burn constantly. And they take. If I spend the whole day lying in bed with my feet up, they start making some process on healing up. But that means I can't do. I would have to lay doggo for days on end, and I'm thinking about doing it anyway because I feel just ground down. Just I love it. You look up alternatives. Alternatives to antidepressants. The first thing is exercise. Yeah, yeah. That way you're depressed, and then and you're also in pain. Yes. But yeah, that's like and that's sort of like saying like saying you know a natural alternative to uh, diet supplements. Starving. Yeah. Yeah, I started at about 7. I started today at about 7. I need to get back in the store. I need to get back in the saddle. And and it's. Oh, just a second. Come in. Come in. Hey. What's up? Not the same. Down average. I believe the fifth one what the average is. Lunch just arrived. Dinner, rather. Excuse me. Won't win any awards for, you know, won't win any A pluses in Anatomy 101 for that, for the rendering of those skeletons. But what the heck? Originally, Quentin was going to be carrying around an enormous book all the time. Great big volume that was supposed to contain all the information. His uh, you know, it was supposed to contain all the information on the lost treasures he was looking for, and all the folklore and woods lore and stuff that he needed to do his job. Sort of like the old woodchuck. Like in the old Donald Duck comics, where Huey, Dewey, and Louie were members of the Woodchuck Scouts, and they carried around the Woodchuck guidebook, which literally had everything in it. And no matter what situation they faced, there was an answer in it. that is a leper rope. That's probably as far as it'll stretch. One of those it's just out of reach scenarios. Okay, look. Let's talk about the breastfeeding issue, public breastfeeding. All right. I hear a lot of arguments. Well, they should be allowed to, just flop a tit out and plug their kid's face wherever they want. It's not sexual. It's perfectly natural. It's the usual arguments. Okay, look. That's sold as an argument back when they were, just when they'd go off, they'd sit in a corner, and they'd breastfeed their child, and and go about their business. Now we got women who are posting pictures of themselves breastfeeding on Facebook. They're not interested. They're less interested in breastfeeding their child than they are in shoving it in everybody else's face. It used to be, they used to make blouses for women that, that came down from the neck. It has sort of a flap or a drape thing, that they could, lift it up, breastfeed the kid, and just lower it. It was modest, fairly modest, and they did take, at least a little bit of effort to be mindful that, oh yes, it's natural. That doesn't mean anybody else wants to watch it. Oh, if you come into a restaurant and somebody, and they got their, they gnarled old nipple out, just feeding the kid. You're trying to eat your lunch, and there's this woman over one table over, doesn't care who else is there. Starts breastfeeding. How would you feel if I just stood up in the middle of the floor, aimed for the drain in the middle of the, in the middle of the floor, and unzip my fly? You can't do that here. Well, why not? It's a perfectly natural, biological, bodily process. That argument goes out the window real quick when it's a man talking, doesn't it? 10,000 years, you come out with a woman breastfeeding. It used to be a woman. Women's clothes were designed. A mother's clothes, nursing mother's clothes were designed with that in mind. They designed so that a woman could breastfeed without letting everything hang out where everybody could watch. And women would have enough sense, to just step off to one side so they weren't front and center stage. Civility. It's just basic civility. But women today, breastfeeding women today, treat it like a personal challenge. And God, I've seen certainly where the people around them will look away, and these, they're not just talking about breastfeeding, just talking about other things that people do not want to publicly witness. They'll be sitting there, they'll mind their own business, they'll turn away so they don't have to be looking at it. And the person involved in whatever it is will get up, run over, and, why you turn away? What, you got a problem with me? You got a problem with my natural lifestyle and all this other crap. This whole breastfeeding issue is rubbish. It's just another symptom of this hostility towards an expectation of civility. How dare you expect them to be considerate of other people? Yes, it's perfectly natural. Yes, and I'm sure everybody in your granola crunchy family doesn't mind at all. But you're out in public. It bothers some people. Be considerate. And for God's sake, Facebook? I don't just go out and eat my lunch. Just take photographs. Open my mouth, stick the camera lens in my mouth. See what I'm eating? Post it up on Facebook. See how they like that. And then when people start complaining, I say, "Well, you got a problem with me eating?" Better you get it. Find some. Wait until my nieces have kids of their own. They're like 2 or 3 years old and don't know how to chew with their mouth closed. Take a few photographs of that. Here, you want to see? Post it on Facebook. You got a problem with my child? You got a problem with my innocent little niece feeding? Of course, in our society lately, look, our feminist favoritist society. It's not just a matter of being of our society and its cultural rules and its laws being favorite, playing favorites with women. It's more specifically, they play favorites with feminism. And look, I want to breastfeed my child because it's more natural. Yeah, that's what breast pumps were invented for, honey. You want to feed your kid all natural breast milk? Oh, Godspeed. But we spent thousands of years developing ways for people to do that, to feed their own children discreetly and with consideration towards other people around them. And you're damn stupid for wasting all your energy making a crusade out of doing something that shouldn't last more than 9-10 months anyway. You're going to be raising that child for 18 years. You're expecting all society to bend over backwards for the first 10, 12 months. When are kids supposed to be weaned? 1 year, 2 years? I don't know. People, you get these freaks who are breastfeeding their children at like 5 years old. Okay, that makes sense in these jungle. They do that naturally in the jungle, in these native Aboriginal tribes. They do that because they've got nothing to eat but dirt. Really. Taking a minute to eat a little bit. Hungry. Civility. Civility in our society. Is it of note to me, am I the only one that notices that the only thing that you are not allowed to be offended by in our society is genuinely offensive behavior? We have got an entire society that is obsessed with right to flop a boob out in public. But no longer values freedom of speech or press. An entire college age generation. But they've been interviewing these people. These kids are out there saying that the First Amendment should be abolished. Unironically. Don't bother looking for a theme, though. I catch myself looking for a theme. Some sort of singular rule that will connect all these insane, contradictory beliefs and actions and behaviors all together. There's not. That's the definition of insanity. There's that the skull full of junk you have in your head, none of the bits and pieces fit together. This is how you get a feminist movement that throws a fit over the fact that video games have female character, princesses that the hero rescues. The same feminist movement would get, the slightest, any possible way they can interpret something as demeaning to a female is a crusade for them. But at the very same, they can't be arsed to care about actual brutality towards women occurring all over the third world. Particularly in the name of why? No rational there's no rational reason. And what's more is that feminists make fun of you for pointing this out. You go, you're getting bent all over out of shape about these trivial little petty little things here in Western civilization where you're treated better than anywhere else you're treated like royalty in Western civilization, but you don't do where are you when these women over in the Middle East are being raped and beaten and mutilated, and tortured, and killed? And they don't even answer you. They just roll their eyes at you. I mean, oh, here's another one of those, mansplaining arguments. Isn't that marvelous? They've come up with a new term for logic: mansplaining. They're like snotty teenage girls. They don't think they have to, feminists take the worst attributes of women and crank them up to 11. Okay? Women, by and large, women are more emotional than men. They do not reason the same way men do. They work things out by their feelings rather than by cause and effect. That's That's been clinically observed. Okay, analyzed, weighed, measured. It's been spin doctored to, oh, they're more sensitive, more in touch with their emotional side. No, they're irrational. Feminism takes that irrational, that emotional tendency, that tendency to think with their feelings, and cranks it up to 11 and breaks off the knob. They don't answer any of the challenge. There is a list as long as an arm of challenges to the precepts of Western feminism. The arguments that they claim, about the situation of women in Western civilization, and they don't answer them. Their response, their response universally to challenges to their rhetoric is the same as if they were a spoiled 13-year-old girl. To cock one hip, put their hand on their hip, toss their crimped hair, roll their eyes, and snap their gum, and go, "Oh, you're just so stupid." You just don't get it. And that's all the argument they think they need. And they sincerely believe they've won they've won the argument. What does it tell you that the relationship advice, this is actual relationship advice, okay? For men. When a woman comes to you with a problem, don't try to help her solve it. That is the little advice. That's the advice. When a woman comes to a man with a problem, the man should not try to solve the problem. Because she will tell you a relationship problem or a social problem or an office problem or some other problem, and you will go, and the man will sit there and he will come up with a solution that would probably help or fix the problem, and she will get mad at him for not listening. However, if the man just stands there and goes, I understand, I know how you feel, She'll walk away feeling like, oh, he's so wonderful. He listens. He cares. This is how Bill Clinton got feminists to vote for him. I feel your pain. He could treat women like sperm bags. But because he pretended to be sympathetic to all their heartfelt woes, they swooned over him. And when our ancestors didn't give women the vote right out of the gate, it wasn't just because they didn't like women, okay? It was because they were under the rather cynical suspicion that women would not vote rationally. Is that offensive? Yeah, well, the truth usually is. But this is the standard of relationship advice given to men. Don't tell the woman how to solve the problem. Tell her you understand and and you're sympathizing and feels. As Bill Cosby, and he put it like this: women don't want to hear what men think. Women do not never believe a woman when she says she wants to hear what you think. Women do not want to hear what men think. They want to hear what they think repeated back to them in a deeper voice. And that is so much the truth. There aren't words for how true that is. Are you hearing me out there? Is this stupid microphone on? Say something. Agree with me, disagree with me, argue with me. Say something, please. Yeah, that's the rationalization that they give about women coming to men seeking a solution to the problem. Now, why? Now, here's the interesting thing. Think about this. Why is it that all this advice is to men? Why isn't somebody going up to these women and saying, if you go to a man with a problem, he's going to try and solve the problem. He's not just going to stroke your fur and make you feel better. If you want a problem solved, go to the man. if you want, this is what we call, cognitive. This chain of logic here is this. The man goes, the man is perfectly aware that the woman is upset. But his solution to solving, the woman is upset. Something has upset her. Fix the problem, and you take away the reason she is upset. You will make her feel better. If you fix the problem, the pain goes away. This comes from realizing, gee, maybe I should pull this arrow out of my thigh before I apply the bandage. Because I have determined it works so much better that way. Woman comes to you. I've got an arrow in my eye. Oh, hold still. We'll fix that up. We'll get it. Quick, get medicine, get the bandage, and she's standing there with an arrow in her eye. You don't understand my feelings. Yeah, we understand your feelings. We understand that you will feel better after the arrow is pulled out of your eye socket. The fact that men put in charge of the family was not a mistake, okay? It was not an accident. It was not a mere chance coincidence. It didn't just happen by circumstance. And the same problems that got us tossed out of the Garden of Eden are still at play today. Feminization of the feminine side of human nature has its place. Unfortunately, that threshold has been passed miles back. Okay, Turnsigle was blinking on that one a long time ago. Overshot the mark because our society has become feminized. We are more interested in feelings than facts. We have the school campuses. Kids they want a safe space where they are not intimidated or threatened by conflicting views. The feminization of our society The removal of the man as the head of the household, the removal of the father as a figure in millions of children's lives, the dispersal of marriage as an inviolate institution. We are no longer even ashamed to go rocketing through the, rock and rolling through the divorce courts. Uh, the replacement of the man has resulted in a society lacking in the masculine virtues. That is incapable of sustaining itself. Look at the Arabs, the Muslims. Their society is a shithole. They're so barbaric that they can't. We have a civilization that can that that can build a space shuttle where millions of people from all over the world can come together, do their little part, and build a machine that carries men into outer space. Okay? Millions of people from all over the world able to peacefully cooperate. You can't get that amount of peaceful cooperation in a Muslim society. You can't even get together long enough to build a toaster. Okay? They're barbaric. They are hyper misogynistic. And they are kicking our asses. In case you missed the bulletin, they wade into our society, just raping and looting and slaughtering, and we stand around here with our with our thumbs up our manginas, letting them do it. Germany, for God's sake. I mean, my God, there was a time, Germany, the country where the language gives chest hair. And they're being systematically raped and looted by quote unquote refugees. A society with any testicles would have just curb stomped these people for behaving the way they are. There's a handful of them out there that are going out there and defending their home, their families, and their wives and their daughters. But the main culture and civilization itself is again feminism off a leash. And what is feminism off a leash? It's a topless woman with duct tape over her nipples, standing in the street with her friends, holding up a big sign as holding up a hand-lettered sign with drawings of her vagina that says, "We would rather have rapists than racists." Actual occurrence. the era, the Muslims culture is dysfunctional in the extreme. But they can kick the ass of a pussified culture without even trying. He used those words. Yes, I use those words. Because they're accurate. I've said this before, people give me, every now and then somebody comes along, hears me say a taboo word. And, someone from my family, my parents, they get, they chastise me for that. And I'm like, okay, and this is my continual argument. You are more concerned about me using one word versus another than you're more concerned about me saying the word than people doing the deed. And our tendency to pussify our language. Oh, you can't use those words. Those are profane words. Says who? The Stewart? No. We got people. We've got an enemy that is running through our streets like the barbarian hordes. And what are we doing? We're all sitting around a tea social circle, flapping our hands like traumatized old women because somebody used a naughty word. Oh, great! The blood of our daughters and sons is running in the streets. But at least we didn't use any naughty words. We won't call a whore because not because being a whore is offensive, but because the word is offensive. And so we use these soft little, mild little muley little, girly little euphemisms for everything. That's another thing. Muslim world, they're breeding like crazy. Make of that what you will. Say what you want. But that's largely how they took over huge chunks of what they simply moved into it, played it. This is how they do it over and over again. This is how they have done it ever since Mecca. Okay, that's how they did. That's how they took over Mecca. They came in all quiet. Muhammad and his followers came all quiet and peaceful, and moved into the neighborhood. And once their numbers were large enough, they took them over from within. First by taking over everything and forcing everybody to live by their code, and then by just outright slaughter. This is how they've been doing it for thousands of years. They do it by sheer numbers. If you're born into a Muslim family, you are Muslim, as far as they are concerned, till you die. And they can arrange the date. They breed like rabbits. They're breeding like rabbits at a time when Western civilization isn't even producing replacement numbers. And isn't the primary reason for this is abortion. I think the estimate is something like 3,000 abortions in a month in the United States alone. Sometimes I think that what's about to happen to this country is basically what we've deserved, what we've earned. We have killed more of our own babies since Roe versus Wade than all the wars combined. Because we raised into generations of people that do not want to take responsibility for their choices. They don't. That's it's our that has been our culture in a nutshell for years. Is that pretty much every social movement has been, every leftist social movement consists of I want to do this. Make a way for me to get away with it. Our sexual promiscuity as a society. That's the maddening thing. We hump like rabbits, but we're not producing enough children to replace our own numbers. And the nations that despise all the things we allegedly hold sacred are breeding like mad. Man, how do you answer that? How do you look at that? How do you answer that? How do you? How do you explain that level of insanity? Uh, Look, what's going to happen is you reap what you sow. I can't help but believe that a lot of it is going to be God's own divine judgment as well. He's just going to step back and say, "Do you wanted this? You got it." And he's just going to crank it up into 11 and leave us to, uh, fry in our own fat. People. Well, what gets me is people tend to behave as if the economic sins of America are somehow less important. Do you follow what I'm saying? You start talking about taxes, for instance, and the theologians suddenly just sorts to start to fall asleep. Nobody wants to address the nobody sex sins. Those will catch the people's attention from the pulpit. You know adultery and fornication and sodomy and all these other all the other carnal transgressions. Those make great press. Those will really rivet your audience. But I'm sorry, thou shalt not steal. that sin was just as much a sin as adultery. The civil biblical penalties may have been lesser, but it was still a sin. Think about it. Think about it. The the welfare system, the Social Security system, the Social Security tax, the welfare tax, all the other taxes, all these boondoggles and pork bellies and government gimmies, all the entitlements, spendings, and the fiat currency system. It's theft. It is theft. If somebody gives you a genuine handful of money and you give them back monopoly money, that's theft. And that is what fiat currency does. Our country has been stealing from its own grandchildren for almost 100 years now. And grandchildren are being born and their pockets are empty. Surprise! Our entire economic system has run off of debt and theft. Government mandated theft. Do you think God's going to bless that? Regardless of the laws of economics, God's not going to bless that. We have spent 40 years murdering our unborn babies with the approval of our government. How long does that have to go on before God puts his foot down? We have legalized prostitution in several of our states. Say nothing of the pornography industry and the rest of the sex industry. And we've reached a point where the normal broadcast television is almost indistinguishable from what would have been called pornography 50, 60 years ago. The things that each of us we don't even realize individually until we stop and think about it. Just the sort of things that we ourselves have come to accept as, normal. Tolerable. Not that big of a deal. I have sins of my own that I have to get down on my knees before Christ every day and confess. Our economy runs on theft. Our culture runs on sex. Our educational, our educational system preaches to our, every generation of children since the 1920s, God is dead. We let murderers loose in our streets in the name of compassion. And we're stunned when they, we're just absolutely stunned when they kill again. Our government murders people on live television for protesting their, for resisting government tyranny, and we yawn, blink, and change the channel. It's too much trouble. Divorce through the roof. Legal system that no longer administers justice. The legal system has become, the civil court system is literally, it's little more than, the divorce courts, the civil courts, everything outside the criminal courts has become a get-rich-quick lotto. Sue somebody. If you shuck and jive hard enough, you might never have to work again. Get a divorce. Take that man to court. Take him for everything he has and everything his great-granddaddy had. Keep the kid so he has to hand you money every month out of his own pocket. Ain't that nice? All the goodies, none of the responsibilities. Let, forget, freedom of assembly, One of those darned meddlesome Christians says they don't want to make a wedding cake for your gay, bisexual, poly, amory, three-way wedding. Take him to court. Run him out of business. Hey, the Canadians are already throwing people in jail. Bet you didn't know that, did you? The marvelous, oh so nice neighbors to the north. If you tromp on the wrong politically correct toes, they will drag you into court. and destroy you. That's a standard operational procedure. Is if anybody on the right hand column uh, says anything that hurts your precious snowflake feelings, drag them into the nearest kangaroo court and ruin them. Don't like that old stifling, old-fashioned quote-unquote sexual morality? Go hold a gay pride parade. Get in everybody's face with it. Riot in the streets until you get the favoritism you want. I look at our society and I realize, God has not yet intervened in an obvious way in the state of affairs in our country. And I look at the Bible, and, I have to wonder just how bad was it in Sodom and Gomorrah? Because we seem to be rocketing in that direction as fast as we can freaking go. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm back. Pardon. Back. Had to run to the restroom. Oh my. Feeling slightly hollow now. Kind of a rough moment there. I just... Whoo, doggy. Let's see. Get this done. There we go. That's about right. Ain't gonna work either. love to know why it doesn't. Facing something of a minor artistic challenge here. And, yeah. legs, area on my legs stings constantly. Like, you ever scrape your shin or you peel off a layer of skin. It's not even deep enough to really bleed, but holy crap, does it sting? Feels like that. Mm, yeah. I'm just a very tired man, Sapphire Jack. It's just I've I'm only 45. I'll be turning 40. I'll turn 45 on March 18th. It's my birthday. In 4 days, I turn 45. Uh, I've got some chronic health problems, chief among which I'm morbidly obese, and I have uh, extreme lymphedema. It's where the veins and arteries in your limbs, particularly your legs, stop. They don't pump the fluids up out of your limbs as efficiently. As they get loose and saggy, and they described it that way. And the fluid starts pooling in your lower limbs. I have uh, I have my below my from mid thigh down, my legs are like elephant legs. Even enormous, even for my size. And that's and there's no real cure for it, and the only real treatment is to spend most of your day with your feet propped in the air, and you tend to get sores on your legs. Basically, you just spring a leak. The fluids, start. You get a little sore, and you'll leak fluid out of your leg. I have to wear bandages like sponges sometimes, and it's really nasty the way I'm describing it. But my grandmother had it, my great aunt had it. It just ran rampant through my family, and now I've got it. And well, having physical problems like that, it is really if it can drag you down so easily. And it makes everything more difficult. Uh, without, if you're already on a downhill slide, that's just putting rocket boosters on it. Because when walking the length of your house exhausts you, and you can't even try to be more, just with the, everything from cleaning and housekeeping to you know, more difficult tests is just going to get the mail is an ordeal, and it grinds you down so easily, and you'd have to be made of better stuff than I am not to just be just depressed and exhausted from it. You know, just throw that on top of all the other kindling for the bonfire. You know what I'm saying? And I've the past couple of weeks I've been letting it it's been really rough and letting it get to me, and I haven't just and okay. I just had a taco salad for half a taco salad for lunch, and oh crap, it is kicking back on me. Okay, we've been on here since 7 o'clock. It's now 9:40. I'm going to call it a night. We'll pick up the broadcast tomorrow. Again, I have got to get back in the traces. You people, you have a right to expect me to produce more. So I'm going to be striving to get back in the saddle, get back on a regular broadcast schedule, start doing regular artwork, comic strips, everything else. Start getting them out there for you people to enjoy. So I can only ask your forbearance over the past stretch because I've been pretty ground down. But I want to get up and rolling again, back up on my feet again, or at least you know, uh, well, metaphorically speaking. So, so we'll pick up tomorrow. Trying to get back on air about 6 o'clock, but I will Twitter post when I'm going to start broadcasting. Uh, Yay, Twitter! You all take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in.